Hello dear viewers, I'm Masood Khan. Welcome to watch Branding Bangladesh. Branding Bangladesh is a kind of show where we talk about Bangladesh's development over past few years, how quickly Bangladesh is emerging, which we will talk about, and we will talk about the Kosovo-Bangladesh relationship because today I have invited the Ambassador of Kosovo. Hello Ambassador, how are you doing?
I'm fine, thank you. Thank you for inviting me to this beautiful program.
So when did you arrive? When did you arrive in Bangladesh?
I arrived on August 2019, last year. As you know, we are one of the newest embassy, one of the newest diplomatic mission here in Dhaka, in Bangladesh.
Excellent. So first of all, the question I'm always asking to the ambassadors and high commissioners, that is the relationship, especially the political relationship, you know, or diplomatic relationship between Bangladesh and Kosovo.
As you know, our country declared its independence on 2008. For the reason we are a very new country, only 2 decades. And Bangladesh recognized us 9 years after our independence. That means in 2017.
2017, Bangladesh recognized.
A few days after our 9th anniversary of our independence. On 2018, exactly on 16th of February, 1 day before our anniversary, we established diplomatic ties between our 2 countries.
Yeah.
After that, in 2009, this time, we decided to open diplomatic mission embassy here in Dhaka. Now we are here.
Wonderful. That is a great thing. As you know, Ambassador, economic or trade relationship is hugely important for the countries, especially in the emerging economy. So Kosovo and Bangladesh, you have a huge bond, I believe. So if you could say something about the trade relationship between these 2 countries in particular.
Yes, in fact, as I mentioned, our relations are very new because we are a new country. Yeah. But we have a lot of interest to work more closely from every aspect with Bangladesh. Our trade volume, our exchange is about 11 million, which is in fact very modest figure. I hope in the future with the new steps, with the support of both governments, we will do our best in order to enhance our relations. And we will have more. We are planning in next few years to double, maybe also to triple this figure. But as you know, Kosovo is a small country, but with a lot of opportunity.
Yes.
In our region, we have a bigger market, as we say, Central European Free Trade Agreement. We are part of this agreement. Also, we have a special relations with European Union. We have a stabilization association agreement. For that reason, we have a lot of opportunity to work with 2 countries. Also, Bangladesh is 170 million, very big country. For that, we have opportunities. But most important thing is our leadership of both countries. They are very interested to enhance our cooperation. And very soon, in fact, we initiated a set of agreements. We signed our first agreement, MOU between our ministries first, February this year. Most probably in the next few days, we will fix a date for for signing of second agreement. After that, we also we initiated several agreements, including an economic cooperation. We formally initiated this agreement. We initiated agreements in other sectors, which will, in fact, will encourage also businesses, because when you have ties, multidimensional ties, this will have effect also to do more business, more trade with each other. We will sign also one agreement on cultural cooperation. We are waiting because of pandemic. We didn't manage to sign this agreement, but in the near future we will sign, because we negotiated about all the text. Only we need to sign, both sides. In the future, we are planning to initiate more agreements, which will have also effect on economics. Including agreement on promotion and protection of investments, and an agreement on avoidance of double taxation. Comparing with few years back, this is in fact very good achievements, but I hope with our presence here, but with the will of 2 countries, there is also another factor that your country is growing very fast. One of the fastest growing countries in the world.
Absolutely.
So you are branding your country, but so this element affects to the branding of your country. Economically, if you become more stronger, this will affect also in your ties with other countries, which is very, very important for you. I hope, as I mentioned before, in the next few years, we will double, maybe also triple our trade volume.
Absolutely. This is very important between the countries, because Kosovo is newly actually born country. It's a very new country. And Bangladesh, as you said, that over past few years, emerging very quickly. So these two countries can have a huge cooperation and bonding, especially trade and economic relationship. So Ambassador, I always ask the question to the other ambassadors as well. You have come here 2018, right?
2019.
19 you arrived here in the country. So how do you see the country? Over the time you have seen the shifting, the country's development?
Yeah,
about Bangladesh. Yes.
Bangladesh is a very dynamic country. A lot of constructions, different projects. You have economic growth figures are very nice. Even during the pandemic, you are comparing with many countries in the world. You are staying very strong. I hope you will continue in this way. For that reason, I commend your leadership did very well in the next few years, last few years, and I hope you will also in the next few years you will continue the same way. Yeah.
Absolutely.
From every aspect, but also importance of Bangladesh in this part of the world is increasing day by day. This is also very important for you. But also another thing is very important, that Bangladesh is a very peaceful country.
Thank you, Ambassador. I'm coming back to you. The discussion before that, we'll take a short break. Dear viewers, we're taking a short break. Coming back soon. Stay with us. Dear viewers, you're watching Branding Bangladesh show. We are talking to the ambassador of Kosovo. Do you know that culture is a huge bond, as you know? Yes. Culture is the identity of a nation. So if you could tell something about the cultural exchange program between Kosovo and Bangladesh, as we call it, is hugely important.
In fact, culture exchange is very important in order to know more about each other.
Correct, you are.
In our country, in fact, people, they have a lot of information about Bangladesh.
That's
Before,
great.
it was one opinion that Bangladesh is very crowded country, etc. But nowadays, perception is more positive from every aspect.
Excellent.
Yes. If they look, for example, Bangladeshi companies, they are exporting also garments, ready-made garments, yes. Kosovo. If you look at the labels made in Bangladesh with a high quality, everywhere you can find Bangladeshi products, and this kind of things also affects to your branding of your country, because this element shows us that you are very active also in economics, and you are continuing to be leader in this field in the world.
Right.
For that reason, it's very important. But for culture, from cultural aspect, in fact, our societies, they have very common values. Let's say social, religious, and other values. Both countries have Muslim majority, 90% or almost 90% in both countries, but we have very good harmony with others. The same is also in Bangladesh. Also, we have a lot of interesting elements. For example, also we are cooking biryani. It's a little bit different than yours, but we consider that this as a part of our culture.
Oh, that's amazing. Okay.
I show that this is originally from this part of the world, also in Bangladesh.
Yeah, of course, it is.
It's interesting. It's almost 7,000 kilometers away.
Land area
between two countries, but it's important that you can find also some similar, very close elements with each other. With this agreement on cultural cooperation, both countries will have also more opportunity to organize different activities, sometimes also, but also to promote Bangladesh in Kosovo, vice versa, also Kosovo here in Bangladesh. In the future, we were planning to organize some movie activities. Movie programs as a Kosovo Film Week or something.
Yeah,
like
you can
that.
screening some movies to.
And also, we will have we will need also your support, the support of Bangladeshi media.
Of course.
But believe me, as a representative of my country here, I am trying to do my best in order also to represent cultural values and somehow to promote also in my country.
True.
As maybe before I worked as a journalist many years back.
You were a journalist before?
Many years back, 20 years back. For that reason, I am very close to the media in Kosovo, and it's important to promote in both sides. Both nations are generous, and both nations have very high human values. For that reason, we must work more to promote our values mutually.
You know, women empowerment is a huge tools for development of any country, particular country. And Bangladesh is a model country for the women empowerment, you know, like our Honorable Prime Minister is women, our Honorable Speaker is women, Education Minister is women, and also in many other very important positions women are, you know, ruling. So if you could say something about the women empowerment issue in particular.
Yes, the empowerment of women is crucial for one society. The emancipation of women is very important. As you mentioned, you have the best role models in your country.
Absolutely.
But it's important all these things to translate to entire society, and in order to encourage all the society to, to support more women. But as you mentioned, it's very, very important to have one of the strongest person in this as a woman in the world.
Yes.
Honorable Prime Minister, you have a speaker, you have a Minister of Education. So as a field, education is very important in order also to encourage education of women in your country for the emancipation of women. It's very important also presence of women in different spheres of the normal life to be more active. In my country, as I can say that we did very good with quotas for women. In fact, we have 1/3 of our parliament are women.
Yeah.
But as a country, we are aiming in the future to have also more, maybe 50 more, maybe more. Presence of women in politics affects from every aspect because they are part of our society.
Yeah.
Also, their feelings are stronger, I think, than ours. For that reason, I commend. It's very nice that you have a strong leadership, and I hope you will continue. And
thank you.
After a few years, we will become a developing country, and after 2 decades, you will become, I hope, together with Kosovo, in the list of the countries, the developed countries.
Yeah, we strongly hope so.
Because still, also we are not in the rank as a we are emerging.
Correct, Ambassador. I'm coming back to you again. We are going back to again a small break. You know, hello viewers. We are taking a short break. Coming back soon. Stay with us. Dear viewers, you are watching Branding Bangladesh. We are talking to the Ambassador of Kosovo. Yes, Ambassador, we are talking about the women empowerment issue. Another issue, as you mentioned a little bit about it, the youth development is a huge issue because the demographic dividend was, we have a huge young population of the country. So if you could say something about the young people of the country.
In fact, for our future, the biggest potential is our human force, our young population in both countries. For that reason, also we as an embassy, we are planning to organize some joint activities with youth of Bangladesh. Recently, I received, we had meeting with one important platform in Bangladesh, And in the, most probably next February, we will organize a virtual meeting between youth NGOs in Kosovo with Bangladeshi NGOs.
Yeah.
Because Bangladeshi NGOs, they are very active, especially as you mentioned, because of the structure of our societies, they are very active. So they were also very active during the pandemic, with identifying of the needs of the population. So giving their vision about the future of country, this kind of things will affect positively also to the politics, to policy makers, in order to show their interest and what are the objectives of the young population in order to be more focused on their needs in the future.
Correct.
We will have opportunity to bring them together, and in the future they will they will start with their first contact. But in the future, I hope they will do so business. They will do, maybe they will be part of the different international projects. Whenever you have young population, you will find there opportunities to change
absolutely.
situation.
It is. They're innovative as well. Yes,
it's very important.
They're innovative. They're the technology. If you talk about technology, they're a much better technology. They're the very, I must say, brilliant generation, the young generation.
Of course.
And if you talk about the digital Bangladesh, this is the main bearer is our young population of the country. So thank you so much, Ambassador. And we talked about, now let us talk about, as we mentioned, tourism. Tourism is a huge issue, as you said. If you talk about the branding Bangladesh or anything, the tourism plays a very key role for branding any country. So if you could say something about the tourism cooperation between Bangladesh and Kosovo.
As we mentioned before, tourism is one of the main segments of the public diplomacy.
Absolutely.
Because through tourism you will create perception to others about your country. You have, in fact, a very beautiful country. Bangladesh, believe me, it's like paradise. You have,
do you know that we have the longest sea beach in the world?
You have the longest unbroken sea beach in the world, Cox's Bazar. You have Shumagal, you have
Sundarban,
Shumagal, Tea Gardens, Sundarban, Silet. You have in Barishal. You have.
Have you visited? Have you visited by this time?
I visited several parts, but also close to Dhaka. You have very important. Like for example, you have. Shonarga, close inside the Shonarga, you have Panam City, Panam Nagar, which is very interesting place. So you have very attractive museums there. But also you have Chittagong hill tracks. You might focus also in the future more on the rural tourism as well, because
rural tourism,
rural tourism, cultural tourism,
community tourism,
But also you have interesting religious
tourism.
Mosques for religious tourism. You have interesting potential. You have mosques, you have Hindu temples, you have pagodas, you have churches, you have everything.
Churches,
for that
mosques.
It's important to promote more these values. But also this is linked also a little bit with the infrastructure. Of course, so in my country we are trying to improve our infrastructure.
I heard that you have a statue of Clinton in your country, Bill Clinton?
Yeah, because they were supporters during our liberation. For that reason, we have a statue of Clinton.
If you could say something about the tourism beauty or attraction of Kosovo, so that many Bangladeshi people have got a very huge interest about Kosovo.
Kosovo is landlocked but very beautiful country.
Okay.
Surrounding by mountains, and we have interesting ski resorts for winter tourism. Maybe in the future some Bangladeshis they will start to because in this part of the world you have a few. It's not like in Europe or in Northern America, but so you have a lot of mosques, churches, different both Orthodox and Catholic. You have different cultural values, ancient sites in Kosovo as well. Also, Kosovo is very close to important touristic spots, close to Greece, close to Albania, close to North Macedonia, Montenegro, everywhere. For that reason, I invite all Bangladeshis to visit Kosovo.
Sure,
especially I invite Bangladeshis because some of Bangladeshis, they are frequently visiting Schengen EU countries.
Yes,
and we are, as a country, we are very close. For example, if you travel from Vienna or Rome or Berlin to Kosovo, you need only 2 hours to
okay, it's pretty
very
near,
close.
Pretty near.
Yeah. So from Istanbul, only 1 hour.
Okay.
For that reason, I invite all the Bangladeshis, if they need some specific information, we are here in Dhaka, they can contact with us and we will provide all information about our tourism potential.
Sure, especially you can organize a kind of cultural exchange program, Kosovo, Bangladesh, so a lot of Bangladeshis may visit your program as well and they'll get to know much about Kosovo.
But in the future, I am planning also with the Kosovo Tourism Union, we are planning also to organize some joint activity, including some our neighboring countries together with Bangladesh.
With happy note, we have to end the session for today. Thank you so much, Ambassador, for coming. And dear viewers, you're watching Branding Bangladesh show. Today we are talking to the Ambassador of Kosovo. We talked to many different issues. We talked about trade, tourism. We talked about economic relation. We talked about religious tourism, and so many other issues we talked about. With this note, dear viewers, thank you so much for watching. Would like to again invite you to watch the next show. Thank you so much.